The weekend.
Qabayan Radio 94.3, loud and proud.
Mga kababayan.
Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Hello.
Hey everyone!
Hello, Francis here.
Hi, this is Joe.
Hi, I'm Trish.
Hey guys, this is Ali.
Thanks for being with us all day, every day.
Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Are you ready? Sound check. Check.
Broadcasting in digital.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Doha, Qatar.
In digital.
You're listening to the first and only
Filipino radio station in Qatar.
Playing all the hits all the time.
The best mix of the music you want to hear.
Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Our current time is 11:02.
Qabayan Radio 94.3. I'm sorry, kailangan na po nating putulin pansamantala ang ating weekend countdown because it is now 11:02 in the morning. So we have to get on with our interview in just a few moments. But before that, hello to Teacher Rose and her husband, Sir Ray. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And of course, mamaya na lang din ako babate. But for now, I want to greet you all a good morning. We have another episode of USAPANG OFW where we're going to discuss mental health issues that arise during a pandemic, in this case, COVID-19. So, maraming salamat sa nakatune in sa ating lahat ngayon. You can watch us via our Facebook page on YouTube and of course via web streaming at www.qabayanfm.com. So with that, I officially welcome Sir Franklin Pineda to the show. So magandang umaga po, Sir Franklin.
Magandang umaga rin po. I'm really happy to be here.
All right. Just a quick overview kay Sir Franklin. Sir Franklin Pineda is a registered nurse with a vast experience in mental health and education. He is actively engaged in advocating for and promoting mental health and well-being. He is the acting director of nursing education and mental health services at Hamad Medical Corporation, and he has led and contributed to development and delivery of educational programs aimed at developing contemporary mental health skills for staff. He is currently engaged in directly working and supporting teams in the National Mental Health Helpline that aim to provide mental health and well-being support to people in Qatar who may be experiencing challenges related to stress brought about by the COVID-19 situation. So again, good morning, Sir Franklin. And kung gusto niyo pong mag-hello sa ating mga listeners and viewers. Sige po.
Magandang umaga po. I'm really privileged to be here to talk about this very important topic, mental health, and I'll be here for an hour with you, Trish.
Yes po. And we're gonna talk about the mental health issues nga that arise during a pandemic. So, okay na po ba tayo, sir? Let's get on with it. So,
Yes, let's get it on.
All right, sir. So first, of course, madalas nating naririnig sa mga balita nga yung mental health issues, and of course in this case yung anxiety and depression. So before we dig in deeper sa mental health issues, what is anxiety nga po ba and what is depression?
Okay. Tama ka na, Trish. Especially now, people are feeling stressed, and that's not really uncommon,
Yes.
especially in a difficult time like this. So anxiety is a normal emotion characterized by feelings of tension, pag nag-aalala tayo, characterized also with physical changes, like tumataas yung blood pressure natin. So ito yung normal response natin whenever we are provoked by a threatening situation o kaya nag-aalala tayo. So it's a very normal emotion. And usually it is experienced as somewhat unpleasant, but it is totally normal.
All right po. So that's anxiety.
That's anxiety. So yung anxiety parang para siyang fear. So a combination siya ng fear, worry, and usually associated with stress.
Okay po. What about depression, sir?
Yeah, so depression naman, maraming tao nagsasabi na depressed ako, depressed si ganyan. So, it is not uncommon to feel depressed. Yeah. So, pag sinabi natin nadidepress ako, that means I'm feeling very lonely, I'm feeling tired most of the time. Pero depression per se is an illness. No? So, normal na makaramdam tayo ng loneliness, normal makaramdam tayo ng sadness from time to time.
Yes.
And that's just part of life. Pero depression as an illness happens when that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of being depressed, continue for a long period of time. So pag sobra parang naramdam mo sa isang linggo, halos araw-araw, and tumatagal siya na more than 2 weeks, and it starts affecting your daily life. For example, it starts affecting the way you deal with your family, naapektuhan ng trabaho mo, hindi ka makapag-concentrate sa trabaho. You notice na naapektuhan ng relationship mo sa mga anak mo, hindi ka na nakikipaglaro sa mga anak mo, you feel tired all the time, apektado na yung tulog mo, apektado na yung pagkain mo. So makikita mo, parang lahat nagbabago na yung buhay mo, apektado na nung depression mo, yung buhay mo, and that is depression.
Alright, sir. So these days naman na yung iba on lockdown, or yung iba, of course, most of us actually, hindi lang yung iba, naka-quarantine. Nobody can really go out and socialize. So we're thrown off our normal routines. The people's state of mind is most likely changed. So as humans, we're ultimately social. Like, we need interaction with other people. How does anxiety or depression develop? And if one already has a condition, how do we control it?
Alright, totoo yun sabi mo, Trish, no, na itong quarantines and ngayon yung quarantine since COVID-19 becomes a household term. Lahat ng tao talk about quarantine. Iba't iba yung nature ng quarantine. For example, yung mga naka-quarantine na pasyente, iba yung experience nila. Yung mga enhanced community quarantine naman tayo, di ba? Nakasara, naka-lockdown, nakasara yung mga malls, nakasara yung mga restaurants. And tama ka. So, and because of that, masyadong limited, nalilimitahan na ngayon yung mga galaw natin, nalilimitahan na yung mga pwede nating gawin. So, prior to COVID-19, a typical day would be going out to the streets, meeting your friends, meeting your family. A typical weekend, you'll go to the park, di ba? Kakain sa labas. Ngayon, wala lahat yan. Di ba? Wala lahat yan. So, dun pa lang, apektado na yung marami nang na-stress because of that. One, people experience boredom. Yeah? And pangalawa, na-stress yung mga tao kasi I can't even see my friends. I can't even shake hands with people. You know, so yung the very things that keep us connected before, parang ngayon medyo limitado na.
Yes.
Diba? So not to mention may yung mga businesses. For example, I own a small business, ngayon sarado. Diba? People are losing jobs as well. Hindi sila makapagtrabaho. So if you think about that, kung di ako makapagtrabaho, what will I give to my family? How do I get by in a day-to-day basis? So, and because of that, it is a very difficult time, and it is uncommon for people to develop anxiety and depression. And importante na ma-recognize natin yung mga symptoms na hindi na ako okay. Diba? Gaya ng sinabi ko sa iyo kanina, yung anxiety, normal yan eh. Normal yung anxiety. And kung tutuusin, anxiety has positive effects. It's not all bad. Diba? So, kailangan natin ang anxiety para alert tayo, you know, so that we get to this get ready and go mode. Kung mapapansin mo, yung mga tao ngayon mas well informed. Diba? Nagre-research, diba? They're really seeking information about what's really happening.
Yes.
People are trying to innovate, find ways, how do we cope with this? Nandito lang ako sa bahay, inip ako, I keep worrying about what's happening in the world. And then you see people trying to learn new skills, diba? Trying to explore technology. How can they connect? I cannot connect with my friends physically, pero there's social media. I think
so bali virtual.
virtual, di ba?
Yes.
More than ever, ngayon feel ko, ngayon natin pwedeng i-explore yung real essence ng social media.
Ng
That
technology.
is to connect virtually. Yeah.
Yes. So, sir, if one already has a condition, kumbaga hindi before pa dumating itong COVID-19, tapos ngayon may anxiety or depression siya, how can he or she control it? Lalo na ngayong we're thrown off our normal routines nga po.
Yeah. Just like physical illness, alam naman natin, those people who have existing physical conditions are at risk, di ba? So
Yes.
people naman with existing mental health problems are at greater risk. Dahil nga mas marami silang pag-aalala ngayon, mas wala silang outlet to go out to connect. It's really important to it's really important to take control of the situation. That is easier said than done kasi what is happening now, we don't have control on so many things. Diba? Hindi natin alam kailan matatapos to. People ask me all the time, Frank, when will this end? Is this gonna take forever? How many months will this take? My answer to them is, I really don't know. And no one, in reality, no one knows. Gaano ba katagal to, hindi natin alam. Ang pwede natin pag-usapan, ang mas maganda pag-usapan natin yung ano yung pwede natin gawin habang nandito to. Because it seems that this will take a little longer. So, habang nandito to, anong pwede natin gawin so that we are able to cope? So, yun ang mahalaga. So, the government of Qatar, the mental health services, the healthcare facilities, I really think they are doing a wonderful job in trying to manage this situation. So recently we have launched, in the start of April, we have launched the National Mental Health Helpline for the public. They just dial 16,000, 1600, 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Anything mental health concern. If they're feeling stressed, if their child is feeling stressed, anxious sila, nalulungkot sila, nag-aalala sila masyado, they're concerned about their well-being. You may be a child, you may be an adult, yung mga grandparents natin, even our amazing frontline staff who work so hard to protect us. Everyone, no one is immune on this. So, meron kaming National Mental Health Helpline. They just call 16,000 and there is a team of mental health professionals who is ready to help them. So they just dial that and then we'll talk to them.
Okay po. So, sir, by the numbers or sa statistics, is there an actual age range of people who are mostly affected by COVID-19 in the context of mental health? Or how do these effects differ? What is the difference in the impact when it comes to the mental health of children, teenagers, adults, and even the senior citizens? May pinagkaiba po ba? Kasi sabi nyo nga po, wala namang immune sa ganitong mental health issues.
Tama.
So,
Tama.
may difference po ba sa impact?
Siyempre, stress, or how we experience stress, how we experience anxiety about what's happening, is very individualized, no? So, but if you ask me, meron bang particular age group, population na mas in the context of mental health na mas prone?
Opo.
I am sure because this is a new pandemic, yeah. No one knows about it. That's why it was called novel. I am sure in a year's time or in the next 2 years, there will be a lot of research para ma-identify kung sino talaga yung at risk, no? Pero so sa ngayon, anyone is really could be affected by anxiety and depression, be it bata ka, matanda ka, professional ka, hindi ka. Everyone has a mental health. Lahat tayo, we try to cope, but we can only cope so much, di ba? So, lahat tayo may kanya-kanyang coping strategies. Lahat tayo may kanya-kanyang buhay. Because of this lockdown, because of these worries, the things we see in TV, because of our loved ones getting sick, if we get to know friends getting sick, maapektuhan tayo. So whether you're a child, a parent, or older adult, apektado ka. So I really think everyone is just equally vulnerable on this.
All right. So, thank you for that, sir. How about naman yung those who have consultations or therapies now that they cannot go out as much and they can't go out or consult with their doctors physically? What are the alternatives? Nabanggit niyo po yung helpline.
Yeah.
Apo.
Yeah. So ngayon, that's a really good question and a very timely one. Kasi recently, in Hamad Medical Corporation, we started offering virtual consultations, either phone consultations or video conference or video consultation, just to make sure na meron pa ring human contact, human connection during consultations. It is the same technology that we are using in the helpline. So, and I think it is now even easier kasi you don't have to physically go to the mental health hospital, to the mental health service. You can access our service just by dialing 16,000 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and we'll answer your call, whatever it is. It is a helpline. We are very conscious and very, very keen that it is a helpline, and we will do everything to help that person.
Okay po. So, sir, during this pandemic, we also have to make sure that we are up to date with news. But where should one draw the line? Or should there be such a thing as drawing the line? Or like, how can we tell when we should stop and just pause from absorbing disturbing or worrying information or news?
I really think there should be a line to draw. Kasi information ngayon, sa panahon ngayon, knowledge is power, di ba? Knowledge is power.
Yes.
We need to be well informed about what's happening and what are the resources there. Ano ba yung mga available na support services dyan na makakatulong sa atin, di ba? So, napakahalaga ng impormasyon. Pero information should help us cope, di ba? When information starts affecting you, starts stressing you so much that your activity of daily living, yung hindi ka na makatulog, hindi ka makapag-concentrate, hindi ka makapag-desisyon, ibig sabihin, although knowledge is power, that information is not being helpful for you. So I think that is when you draw the line. So in terms of information, getting this information, one, importante na check yourself. Anong information ang kailangan mo? Yeah, you need to filter it so that you get balanced information. Diba? How much information do you need and how much information can you accommodate? Diba? So is it about checking the news, the statistics once or twice a day? I personally would not recommend checking it more than twice a day. Kasi it's all you think about then, right? Because these numbers are constantly changing. So the moment na mag-move yung numbers, maaring ma-stress ka na naman, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi ang importante nga ngayon, gaya na pinag-uusapan natin, this is a really difficult time and it seems that it will take a while. Hindi natin alam kailan matatapos to. So every day, stress tayo. Every day may stress. People talk about it. People are scared. People are stressed, are anxious. People are getting depressed. And that's normal. If you're scared, that's totally normal. I'm scared too.
Right.
I think it would be foolish not to be scared or not to be anxious about what's happening. Ang importante lang is how do we cope with it? So in terms of information, importante na balancing information mo. Pangalawa, ano ba yung source? Ano yung quality ng information na nakukuha mo? Reliable ba yung sources mo ng information? So I would recommend to check on WHO, the World Health Organization website, so the www.who.int, and then they provide the actual information there. In the local context naman, just visit the Ministry of Public Health website, www.moph.gov.qa. Sobrang ganda ng website, sobrang easy to understand ng mga statistics. May mga infographics sila, may mga advice on what to do during quarantine, what are relaxation techniques na pwede mong gamitin, coping strategies, may mga infographics sila. So I would really encourage the public to visit that. And then limitahan din yung news kasi marami sa atin na syempre wala tayong magawa, babad tayo sa social media.
Yes.
Kung tignan mo ang Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram,
Puro COVID-19.
it's all about this COVID-19 and
Yes.
there's nothing positive. So karamihan scary stories, mga pictures ng mga sobrang lalang pasyente. We don't even know if that's really COVID, 'di ba? So importante to be smart and to be wise on what information and what news do we watch. So bottom line, get the information you need that will help you. And everything else, for example, maraming studies, maraming mga theories and conspiracies, they're not facts. Diba? There are conspiracies. Palagay ko, lahat tayo, we just have to choose. Are we going to rely on facts that is published daily in WHO in MOPH website, or are we going to rely on conspiracies, theories of people? So I would always recommend and choose. I'll be happy with the facts. Kasi yung conspiracies, hindi natin alam yan eh.
I agree. And sir, dako naman tayo sa psychological and emotional resilience. What is this about and how crucial and significant is this, especially at a time like this?
Napakahalaga niyan, no? Gaya na sabi ko, stress is just a constant in this world. Kahit and stress is not something unique, di ba? Ngayong COVID-19 may stress noon, wala. Araw-araw, kahit before COVID, may stress. After COVID, meron pa ring stress. But this is a difficult time, and we need to appreciate that everyone, most if not everyone, is really stressed about this COVID-19 situation. And that's normal. So whether we like it or not, may stress. At padagdag lang ng padagdag yan. So importante na we are able to bounce back. We are able to cope with that, right? So psychological and emotional resilience, this is our ability to bounce back from these adversities. Na gaano man kahirap, kahit sobrang stress tayo, kahit we are feeling low today, kahit hindi tayo nakatulog ngayon, bukas makalawa, we're good. Fresh ulit tayo, bumangon pa rin tayo, kaya pa rin natin. And napakahalaga yan ngayon. So paano natin ma-achieve yung resilience na yan? Diba? Paano natin ma-achieve yung resilience na yan? Importante na to develop and explore coping strategies. Napakaraming coping strategies na practical. For example, one, I would recommend exploring practical ways to relax. So be it deep breathing exercise. So whenever I've done it with so many calls I had sa helpline namin. So somebody who is really anxious, I just ask that person, pakinggan mo yung boses ko, pikit mo yung mata mo, hinga ng malalim, inhale through your nose, and then exhale through your mouth.
Alright.
And then we do that 3 times to 5 times, and then that helps. Other things like if you can have a massage, ask your partner, ask your children to give you massage. Is it about listening to music? Lately I've been listening to classical music and it helps. Diba? Maybe to some people rock music would be relaxing for them. Then do what you have to do, diba? Kasi gaya ng sabi ko, ang nangyayari sa COVID-19, gaano katagal to, hindi natin alam. Hindi natin kontrolado yan.
Yes.
Pero paano tayo magkukup, yun ang kontrolado natin. Diba? So, those things that we can control, we better put a handle on those things. So, ano ba yung makakapag-relax sa'yo? Pangalawa, sabi mo nga, diba? Limit information. So, information flow. Importante na yung information na lagi mong titignan, yung kukunin mo impormasyon, makakatulong sa'yo. When you feel na sobra na to, naapektuhan na ako, stop. Because you need to recognize those symptoms. Stop and then do it again on another day. Ngayon napakahirap na even the mosques are closed, right? The churches are closed. So importante pa rin to satisfy yung spiritual needs natin. So if it's about praying, if that helps, then you do it. Diba? Pamper yourself. I think this more than napakahalaga ngayon na to think about ourselves. We always think about other people, and that's good. That's altruism. Importante yan. Pero we need to think about ourselves. Let's be kind to ourselves. Let's be kind to one another. So ibig sabihin, nagda-diet ka, pero kainin mo yung tsokolate. Di ba? Kainin mo yung tsokolate yung gusto-gusto. Don't feel guilty about it. Have that a slice of that cake you've been dying to eat, and don't feel guilty about it because you deserve it. Diba? You deserve it. So, kung lahat tayo dito, I think all of us dito sa COVID-19 situation na to, we all have a role to play. If you are in the public sector, wala ka sa healthcare industry, you staying home protect people. By you staying home, you are protecting people. You are making it worthwhile para sa aming nandun sa hospital, para sa mga frontline staff na nandun who are risking their safety just to protect us. So I really think lahat tayo dito, we have a significant role to play. And then, like I said, always think about kung kagaya sa inyo dyan sa station, yung mga nagtatrabahong kababayan natin, have regular breaks. It doesn't have to be long, pero kahit 10 minutes lang yan.
It matters.
10 minutes na yan, it matters, di ba? Yung 10 minutes na yan, i-enjoy mo siya. For example, iinom ka ng kape, huwag kang mag-isip, huwag kang mag-doodle ng notes, huwag kang mag-scribble, huwag kang i-enjoy mo yung kape mo. I-enjoy mo siya, yung temperature niya. So what I do is, I enjoy the temperature, I enjoy the sweetness, the cream, and by focusing on those little things, on those minor details, at least for a while, I stopped thinking about COVID-19. And that is bouncing back. So, yung stress ko for a while, kahit ilang seconds lang, kahit ilang minuto lang yon, bumaba siya ulit. Ngayon, pag bumaba siya ulit, kaya ko na ulit ng stress. And so that's how we develop our resilience.
All right. So, thank you, sir, for that. That's a very, very good and very interesting answer. And kami nga din po dito sa Qabayan, of course, we make sure na kahit papano, meron din kaming time to recharge, of course. Kasi, ang trabaho din po natin, katulad nga po ng inyo, kayo sa mga front lines, kailangan din, maasahan pa din tayo kasi yun yung kailangan natin gawin. So, of course,
Totoo
kami
yan.
naman po, para sa mga kabayan naman na nakikinig sa atin. Alright, so maraming salamat, Sir Franklin. We're gonna take a short break for now because it is already 11:30 and then we'll be back with more questions for Sir Franklin. So maraming salamat sa mga nakatune in sa atin ngayong umaga. Again, this is Trish and we'll be back in just a while. And stay tuned only here on Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Qabayan. Ugaliing mag-ingat at protektahan ang sarili laban sa Coronavirus Disease 2019 o COVID-19. Laging maghugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig o hand sanitizer. Siguraduhing malinis ang inyong mga kamay sa lahat ng oras. Pagkatapos umubo o bumahing, bago kumain, pagkatapos gumamit ng banyo, at pagkatapos humawak sa mga hayop. Iwasan rin ang paghawak sa inyong ilong, mata, at bibig nang madumi ang kamay. Kapag uubo o babahing, takpan ng ilong at bibig gamit ang malinis na napkin o tissue at siguruhing itapon ito agad sa tamang basurahan matapos gamitin. Kung walang napkin o tissue, gamitin ang inyong sleeve para magtakip. Tandaan, huwag gagamitin ang kamay. Subukang umiwas sa mga taong may sintomas ng respiratory diseases tulad ng madalas na pag-ubo at pagbahing. Kung ikaw naman ang may sintomas ng flu, gumamit ng face mask para makaiwas sa panghahawa sa iba. Bumisita at magpatingin na rin agad sa pinakamalapit na health center o ospital. Umiwas muna sa pagbiyahe papunta sa mga bansang may coronavirus upang mas makasiguro sa proteksyon at kaligtasan. Paalalang pangkalusugan mula sa Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Do you have a business that needs excellent promotion?
Qabayan Radio is here to help you. With over 30,000 followers on Facebook
and more than 10 million online listeners, you can now expose your brand
to a bigger and wider public. What are you waiting for?
Advertise with us now. Contact our sales and marketing team at 4499-4944,
3388-8943,
5024-1555,
4499-4943,
or 666-81199.
Advertise with us now.
5.
Number 5.
Keep listening. To the first and only Filipino radio station in Qatar.
Qabayan Radio 94.3.
Qabayan Radio 94.3, and now we are back for another episode of Usapang OFW, where we talk about the mental health issues that arise during a pandemic. And we're still with Sir Franklin Pineda from Hamad Medical Corporation. So, sir, let's get right back to it. Kanina, you already discussed yung psychological and emotional resilience, which is, of course, our ability to bounce back. So now let's say that the crisis is done. Do you think life will or should be back to normal? And if it won't, how, in general, how should we cope and adjust? Because, of course, after this pandemic, I'd like to think na there will be an after this pandemic. Of course, we're all very hopeful for that. Of course, paglabas natin, kapag wala na ang COVID-19, it's going to be another level of adjustment. So how should we cope and adjust to all the new things that we're going to have or experience after this pandemic?
Okay, that's a really interesting and really good question. No, with the question, after COVID-19, are we gonna go back to normal? Right? Is the world going back to normal? First, normal. The term normal is quite relative. So what's normal for you may not be normal for me. What's normal for people may not be normal for others.
Right.
And the term normal and what we describe to be something as normal evolves, diba? So it continues. So yung normal 5 years ago, hindi na siya normal ngayon. So many years ago, hindi normal for example, ang technology to. Ngayon, it's normal, diba? Noon, may mga normal noon na ngayon iba na, diba? So I think there will be a new normal. This is my opinion, my personal opinion. I think after this COVID-19, the world will not be the same. You know, the world can't go back to what it was before. And one could argue if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I think what will not change is our ability to cope, our ability to care, our ability as a nation, as people, our ability to thrive, that no matter what the adversities are, kahit gaano kahirap yung mga pinagdadaanan natin, we continue to survive them. And I really think after this COVID-19, with all the changes na mangyayari, we will come out as better individuals, as stronger individuals. In terms of normal, anong klaseng normal ba yon? I think hindi magbabago yung our ability to connect, our ability to protect people, you know, yung core natin. So lahat ng core natin, core values natin, hindi magbabago yun eh. Our sense of family, that will never change. But maybe magbabago yung the way we communicate. Magbabago siguro yung the way we reach out to people. Diba? The way we express our concern. For example, before it's all shake hands and hugs and kisses, maybe that would change. And who knows? Like I said, one could argue if that's good or bad. But for me, I like to stay positive in all of this. Maraming magbabago, and kagaya ng anumang uring pagbabago, change is hard, di ba? Change is really hard kasi may mga nakasanayan tayo eh.
Yes.
At palagi ko yun yung struggle natin, no? How do we move away from that nakasanayan? Ngayon mahirap yan, pero for example, dati dapat we need to shake hands to establish that connection.
Yes.
Pero ngayon, as people, makikita mo na hindi tayo nag-shake hands, but we are trying, like I see people bumping elbows, di ba? I see people like tapping their feet, their shoes together. We are very innovative. So I really think maraming magbabago, pero yung mga core values natin, like I said, our ability to protect one another, to connect, and to surpass anything, that will not change.
All right.
And kung how would we cope for that? How would we cope on all these changes? I think mahirap yun kung ako lang mag-isa eh. Pero lahat naman tayo, we are all in this together. And makikita natin yan na as long as, like I told you a while ago, na as long as we support one another, this is really difficult. But I really think together, if we work together, if we be kind to one another, support one another, it would be definitely easier.
Mm-hmm. All right po. So, sir, when it is very important that right now we recognize and destigmatize mental illnesses because for quite a while now, meron pa ring mga nagsasabi na, oh no, you're just sad. It's all in your mind. May mga ganun pa rin nagsasabi na parang yun yung stigma surrounding mental health, mental illnesses. During this very challenging time, how exactly can we do just that? Yung pag-destigmatize nga ng mental illnesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the stigma around mental health, and I want to tackle mental health, not just mental illness, but gusto ko mag-focus sa mental health.
All right.
The stigma around mental health has always been there, diba? Has always been there, and it is a constant. It is a constant advocacy naming mga mental health clinicians to promote awareness, and I really think that with the difficulty of the situation now, I really think that this is a good window of opportunity for us to really talk about mental health. That mental health, everyone has mental health, and when you talk about mental health, it's not about a psychiatric illness.
Yes.
Right. So you have mental health, I have mental health, and everyone is in this continuum, mental health and mental ill continuum. So tayo ikaw, Trish, may times ba na irritable ka? May times ba na hindi ka makatulog? May times na you feeling low?
Yes, meron, sir.
Meron, lahat tayo, di ba? So that means during that time, nandun ka papunta ka doon sa mental ill side of the continuum.
Yes.
But then again, like napag-usapan natin kanina, may resilience, di ba? So you always bounce back. Diba? You always bounce back. You always go to that mental health side. Yung mga tao may mga mental illness, they don't have mental illness 24/7. Yeah. So from time to time they also go back to the mental health side, the mental health aspect of that continuum. So if we recognize that we all have mental health, at kinakailangan natin i-recognize as important as physical health,
yes, importante
ang mental health. Diba? There's no health without mental health. So I think it's important. How do we destigmatize that? We need to talk about mental health more regularly. We need to check one another. We need to recognize if somebody is depressed, it doesn't mean that person is weak, right?
Yes.
Depression is an illness, right? It happens to them. It could happen to us, right?
Yes.
According to WHO, 1 in every 5 individuals will have a significant mental health issue or problem in his lifetime. So it's really not uncommon. So I think para ma-destigmatize natin yan is let's recognize the symptoms. Diba? Una-una sa sarili natin. So paano ko malalaman na may mga symptoms ako? I need to perform some self-check. So what's happening with my body? May mga i-recognize natin, lagi bang masakit ang ulo ko? Lagi bang tumataas ang presyon ko? Nung nakaraan, wala akong ganito. Ngayon, lagi ako nagkakaroon ng mga physical symptoms. What else? Emotions. Check on our emotions. What's happening with our emotions? Lagi ba akong galit? Lagi ba akong malungkot? So, it's about realizing and recognizing, sandali, parang hindi ako to Parang usually hindi ako ganito When you recognize that, you know something's up. You know you are experiencing a bit more stress than you can, right? So ang piniprevent natin dito yung gaya na sabi ko sa iyo kanina, normal naman yung stress Normal naman na minsan talagang tensionado tayo, di ba? Ang piniprevent natin yung bumabad tayo dun on that experience na makaranas tayo ng burnout, makaranas tayo ng stress overload, because when we start developing and experiencing stress overload, burnout, on a prolonged period of time, that's when our mental health would start to fail. You might have anxiety experience na hindi mo kaya, magkakaroon ka ng depressive episodes, and some people, of course, this is along the line, may even have some episodes of psychosis because of sobrang babad din sila dun sa stress. Kagaya ng sabi ko sa'yo, importante na if you recognize something's wrong with you, something's unusual with you, recognize that and do something about it. Yeah. So, one, don't keep it to yourself. Yeah. Talk to people. Talk to your friends. Maybe it's about talking to a friend. Pero maaring kailangan mong gawin yon with a lot of friends. Maaring kailangan mong gawin yon several times, repeated times. Diba? Be physical. Do a physical activity, even if it's just about walking. Diba? If it's about walking. Ngayon, kung yung mga self-help strategies hindi umubra, that's the time to call for help. And like I said, help is available, and help is even easier now with the launching of the National Mental Health Helpline. They just call 16,000, that's 1600, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. A team of mental health professionals is always ready to address and help you.
All right, sir. For the next question, well, Sandro Galea, an epidemiologist and dean at Boston University School of Public Health, and who also studied the impacts of quarantine during the SARS epidemic in Toronto naman, said that mental illness is going to be the next wave of COVID-19. So, sir, I want to ask you, what can you say about, what does this mean? What does he mean when he said that mental illness is going to be the next wave of COVID-19? What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, his statement is quite sensible because if again, like I said, this is not unique. You know, mental health problems and mental health issues that follow a pandemic, a crisis, is not unique to COVID-19. It happened with SARS. It happened with the previous adversities and calamities.
Yes.
So that is not uncommon, and somehow that is it makes sense to expect that. I kind of agree with him na after this pandemic, you know, kung tatagal pa to, people losing their jobs, people not being able to provide for their families, people not being able to see their friends, people not being able to spend time with their loved ones, and worrying about these numbers all the time. When will this end? It's that uncertainty that stresses us, right? Yung loss of control. Yun yung dati kontrolado ko yung buhay ko. Ngayon, I don't have control, diba? I don't have control over this. Yun yung nakaka-stress sa atin. And if that, gaya na sabi ko sa'yo, like anxiety and depression, kung ngayon, isang araw, dalawang araw, okay lang yan, normal yan eh. Pero kung buwan ang bibilangin natin na ganyan ang nararamdaman mo, there's really a risk that a lot of people will develop mental health issues and mental health problems. Kaya nga, I want to go back to yung sa National Mental Health Helpline. We need to be proactive. Diba? Maganda na napag-uusapan natin to ngayon na alam natin na pag pinabayaan natin, if we don't talk about mental health, if we take our mental health experience and issues very lightly, chances are talagang maraming magkakaroon mental health problem after this COVID-19. So we need to be proactive and be very responsive at this. Kaya nga in the National Mental Health Helpline, ang ginagawa namin, aside from receiving calls from people, we are reaching out to people. We've started reaching out to frontline staff to make sure na bago pa sila ma-stress, tatawagan na namin sila, kukumustahin na namin sila, i-explore na namin kung ano yung mga issues nila, just to make sure that they remain resilient. So for the public naman, you don't have to be depressed to call us in the National Mental Health Helpline. If you are experiencing stress, worries, and you're concerned about your well-being, call us. It doesn't have to be serious, you know, because what's serious for me may not be serious for you. So if you are concerned about your well-being and mental health, please call 16,000 and 7 days a week. We will help you, and we will do our very best to address your need and help you. So, like I said, it's being proactive. That could be true, but if we become proactive on our mental health and taking good care of our mental health, then malilesen natin yung chance na yon.
Mm-hmm. All right, sir. So parang kumbaga a simple kumusta or a simple how are you also matters, especially during this time. So for my next question, sir, how can we be of help? Kumbaga, for example, sa bahay, how can we be of help and support to the people who have mental health illnesses or psychological disorders? Or we have a question here from one of our viewers. This is from Alan Marqueses. What are the basic and important approaches in dealing with individuals who are suffering from mental health? And paano daw po yung those who are still in the stage of denial na may mental health issue sila?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and usually two questions, no. Yung una, I want to make a comment on your statement that a simple kumusta, simple how are you would go a really long way. And then the other thing is, how do we support people who are experiencing mental health issues, diba? So first yung pangungumusta natin sa mga kaibigan natin. If you remember na, if you just try to recall, bago tong COVID-19 na to, pag nakita mo isang tao, yung parang standard na sasabihin mo sa kanya, how are you? Uy, kumusta? Diba? And if you think about that, baka dahil baka doon kaya resilient tayo eh. As a nation, as people, kaya okay tayo eh. Nakaya natin eh. Ngayon, sa sobrang stress, dahil lahat tayo stressed, makikita mo, I see this in workplace na people start forgetting asking, checking on each other. Diba? So, kasi stress tayong lahat.
Yes.
So, importante, like I said, I want to go back to that very basic premise na sinabi ko kanina na let's be kind to ourselves and let's be kind to one another. What's happening is new. This is new to the world. No one has the answers to all of your questions. So, kung ako stressed, pag may nakikita mo na pagod na or stress na yung kasama mo, kumustahin mo siya. Hey, kumusta? How are you? Nakita ko kanina ako balsa. Take a break. I'll cover for you. And that would go, a long way. Mga neighbors natin, maybe it's about calling our friends, calling our neighbor. Hey, I was just gonna ask na okay lang ba kayo? I'm just gonna check on you. Okay lang ba kayo dyan? Andito kami o kailangan nyo kami? And that simple act of kindness would go a long, long way.
Yes.
Especially now it's a really difficult time. So people will definitely appreciate that. So that's a really good comment from you. Pangalawa, yung sinabi mo na how do we help people with mental health problems ngayon. Like I said, it is about not judging them. It is about being caring and being kind to them. It's treating them as like any of us. For example, how would you treat somebody who has diabetes, and how would you treat somebody who has depression? There shouldn't be any difference, because yung pasyenteng may diabetes, pasyenteng may depression, pareho lang silang may sakit. Di ba?
Yes.
Kailangan nila ng gamot, kailangan nila ng mag-aaruga sa kanila, they need understanding. It should be the same. So I think it's about opening opportunities, keeping the opportunities for that person to feel supported, to communicate and to ventilate their feelings. May yung dun naman sa audience na nagtanong, how do you manage or how do you help somebody who is still in denial?
Yes.
Right? It is true. Mental health, if you think about mental health, it's all about acceptance, diba? But acceptance is a journey, and we need to respect that, diba? Na some people could upfront na ma-accept nila na okay, meron nga akong depression or meron nga akong mental health problems. But some people, it's harder for them to come to terms to that, diba? So ang kailangan natin gawin, kung meron kayong kaibigan, meron kayong kapamilya na nakakaranas ng mental health problems, it is really important to be patient, you know, and to support them kasi hindi nila gusto 'yan.
Yes.
People who are depressed, it's hindi sila, when you become depressed, it's not because you gave in to the problems. It doesn't mean that you are weak, you know. It will happen to the best of us, you know. Everyone is vulnerable. Magkakaiba lang yung mga vulnerabilities natin. So when it happens to them, a depressed person ayaw niyang sumama sa mga kaibigan niya, hindi naman dahil gusto niyang indyanin or hindi niya gustong samahan ng kaibigan niya. Gusto niya, kaya lang he doesn't feel he has the skills, he has the energy to be with them. So it's really important. It's really important to be more understanding and be more patient to them. So if they're asking for advice, the most helpful advice would be try to be more understanding and keep the communication line to these people open, because usually it would take several attempts for a close friend, for a loved one, to convince that person to seek help.
All right.
And like I said, kung at any time that you are concerned, for example, if you are concerned that your brother, your child, your grandmother, about their well-being, kahit okay ka, call 16,000. Tawagan mo kami, sabihin mo sa amin yan, and we will do our best to help you.
All right. So, thank you so much, sir. So, a reminder lang for everybody about the National Mental Health Helpline. That's again at 16,000 or 16000. And, sir, you also mentioned that you're available from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Am I right?
Yes. Every day,
Alright.
7 days a week.
Okay. So, maraming salamat, Sir Franklin Pineda, a mental
Thank you
health
for having me.
expert from Hamad Medical Corporation. Just my last question, Sir Franklin. Do you have some people that you want to greet or you want to say hello
yes.
to or thank?
Yes. First, I'd like to congratulate and shout out. Well done for the teams in the National Mental Health Helpline. You know, we save people every day, so let's keep doing what we're doing, and well done. All the nurses, all the mental health clinicians in the mental health services, all of us are together in this advocacy to promote mental health and raise awareness of mental health. Ingat kayo dyan sa mga staff, sa mga chingwat boys dyan, sa mga staff sa mental health services, sa mga educators sa NMER. Please keep safe. Kay Ate Angie, Glenn and family, keep safe, everyone.
All right. So, again, thank you so much, Sir Franklin Pineda. And on behalf of the whole Qabayan team, we thank you for always braving the front lines. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. And of course, Sir Franklin Pineda, for gracing us with your presence via Zoom, for giving us your time for this interview. Again, thank you so much on behalf of Qabayan Radio 94.3. So,
You're very welcome.
all right. So thank you, sir. For now, it is already 12:01 in the afternoon. I'm just gonna play more music for you guys before I say goodbye and before I make way for RJ Ali for the acoustic hour. So ituloy muna natin saglit yung ating weekend countdown and then we'll see kung matatapos pa natin. All right. So this next track is Doja Cat with Say So, only here on Qabayan Radio 94.3.
This